Where are you headed this summer? Are you like so many people who, after 2020, you're a little tired of being cooped up in your home and you are hitting the road or getting on an airplane and you are going somewhere, anywhere but here? Well, I know this morning or actually even the last month, all I've been seeing from my friends and on their social media feeds is travel and vacations and time spent with family and friends. Well, I will tell you, I just got back from a 10-day trip up to Iowa. Not an exotic place, but actually a really nice place. But I came back, and yesterday is our what we call reentry day, and where we're just like trying to get everything back in its place and get back to our normal schedule. And this morning I saw this beautiful post from a friend who just got back from Costa Rica with her family, and they took a big family trip, and she just beautiful, beautiful pictures. It's so beautiful. I like earmarked the hotel that she stayed at because Costa Rica is on my list. And it was so interesting looking at all the comments because everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is on my bucket list. Or, wow, it looks like you had a fabulous time. Oh, I can't wait till we're going. We've been going there for 20 years. Like, you just had all this really good energy around this vacation. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about vacation. So this is what's crazy. So we're going to give you 5 vacation power moves that actually will help you grow your business. And I'm not just talking about the restorative power of vacation, because yes, that's very important, more important than you ever think it could be, but just the process of going on a vacation. I thought, as we were doing our reentry day yesterday, of how the parallels would go between growing your service business and getting ready for vacation. So let's talk about this. So there's lots of parallels, but it's going to be really fun. So howdy, by the way, if you've never met me, my name is Leslie Hassler. I own Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and I help service-based businesses grow and scale in a way that's profitable and sustainable. So I know a lot about growth and scaling. And we talk a lot about growth and scaling, but I'm kind of excited because these 5 power moves are something you haven't heard from me before. So let's just go through them, what they are. So the first one, the first power move is one that my honeymoon with my husband 21 years ago taught me. And here's what it taught me. I am a planner. My husband is not a planner. And so I did not plan anything for the honeymoon. Um, and we got there and we kind of struggled, honestly, because we didn't know where to go. We didn't know where the best places to eat. We didn't have an itinerary. And so when it came down to it, what I figured out is, for me, freedom is not having to make choices I don't know enough information about. It's stressful to me to figure it out on the spot. But we kind of got into this happy medium. So what for us, we do structure to set us free. And that means we do some prep work, right? We figure out where the best place to stay in a hotel is, what might be some restaurants right around the hotel that we would love to go to. Not that we're going to make a commitment to go or not to go, but we're just saying this is what we could have this vacation look like. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set up somebody to pick us up from the airport and take us back to the airport. We're going to take that out of the equation, so we're guaranteed to know what happens in that situation. Or we're going to do this excursion or that excursion, so that we really get to experience what it is. When we do beach vacations, this is one way that we do it. We have a beach day and a non-beach day, right? We have an active day and a rest day, so that we're kind of getting balance. But this structure is part of the preparation. When we went to Iowa for 10 days and we had a family wedding and we were bringing some stuff, some decor for the wedding, we prepped, right? We packed. We put things into boxes that made sense. We thought about, okay, we don't need this right away, but we do need this right away. So let's make that more accessible. And so when we went, it was just easy, right? It was just easy to do. Well, that is something about growth that most people miss. Most people hope and pray for growth or are surprised when it happens, but they don't prepare for it. This is such a crucial, crucial key to getting growth right, is to be prepared for it. Now, are you going to be prepared for everything? No. But can you be prepared for a range of possibilities, of probabilities? Yes. If you think about some of the maybe pitfalls of growing, can you prepare for that? Actually, yes. There are some really, really easy habits, and we talk a lot about them. But I just want to say that, the structure will set you free, and it also reduces stress. And so growth it is tension. It is unsettling because change is happening. It is unsettling because you're not always in control. Have you realized that about business yet? You're not in control. But if we're prepared, we can better deal with anything that happens to surprise us on the way. And we can better deal with opportunities as well. So be prepared. I think the next thing that I think that great vacation travel planning does for us is delegation. So, for instance, I found in my family that, again, I'm the planner, do all the research, that it's exhausting for me too. I mean, I like it. I see the benefits of it, but I get tired from it. So I've started delegating aspects of it. When we went to Italy 2 years ago, I said, here's the day. You get to plan it. And my then 14-year-old son planned the whole day. And we actually had probably an amazing experience doing a balsamic tasting with the original, like the original King's balsamic maker. And it was a lovely experience, right? So I got to take in the joy, but my family also got to participate. So they were able to buy in to the excitement of it. Now, this parallel into your business. Don't deprive your team of the joy of the journey by not including them, right? That delegation aspect is one of those scalable factors. If you do it well, you can scale your business well. If you don't do it, you will always be hitting this glass ceiling in your business. You'll kind of feel like you're on Groundhog Day. So delegating is a really important parallel for your vacation and for your business growth. Our third parallel of vacation power moves is this balancing between the go and the rest. One of the things, one of the principles that I have is that you sometimes have to slow down to move forward. Like you've got to slow down to go faster. And if you will, I think that's what rest does. If it enables us to keep running. One of the things I tell my clients all day long is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? We're trying to keep things going for the long term, to keep things moving in the business, to keep momentum. Momentum is one of the costliest, most time-intensive, energy-intensive things to create in a business. You want to keep it when you have it. But if you're constantly fighting burnout, if you're constantly going, from one end to the other end and bouncing back between them, then you're losing momentum in between, and you're spinning your wheels because you're having to recreate the momentum from where you were. So what's interesting is by taking those measured rests, by saying this is a beach day, this is a non-beach day, right? Then we're allowing for the rest and also allowing for the momentum. It's actually very counterintuitive. But a lot of things, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that there's a lot of things about growth and scalability that are counterintuitive. That's why people struggle with it so frequently. All right, so number 4, our fourth vacation power move is the power of anticipation. I'm telling you, when you're planning a vacation, when you're thinking about a vacation, you could have a countdown days, right? It's like 4 days to my vacation. I'm so excited, 4 days to 3 days, 2 days, it's day, we actually celebrate vacation day. We have I don't know why, but I'm like, 2 days, I always build up the anticipations for it because there's some things about travel that aren't so fun. Hello, getting on an airplane right now. Not the most enjoyable experience to my whole travel. But if the anticipation is so juicy, you're going to need a napkin to wipe it up. It's that juicy. Then you put up with those inconveniences. You do what you need to do to get to the destination. Here's how the parallel happens in business. A lot of people, when they think about growth, they actually dread it. They're worried about what happens if we succeed. They're worried about what happens if we fail. And I don't know, it's like they allow all the imperfection of growth, and growth is highly imperfect, highly inefficient. They allow all those things to be the reasons why they don't grow. And I see this time and time again. There is this level that people think is safe growth. There is this level that's likely out of control growth. That's a big difference. There's a huge capacity that you're leaving on the table if you allow the dread to keep you down here, if you allow the fear to keep you down here. I want to bring you up to the middle, right? There's juiciness, there's goodness. There's actually, by not worrying about being in control, there's greater power in what the growth does into your business and how it helps you tap into scalable moments to be able to produce profitability. So think about your attitude towards growth. And I was listening to something earlier today, and they talked about competitive commitments. We're committed to grow. But what would be the worst thing? What would be the worst thing if you were successful at growth? Whatever you would answer that question as, that's your competing commitment. That is the thing holding you back. And we really have to rewrite the story, change the attitude when it comes to that competing commitment, because it is the thing that's keeping us playing here, not here. Our fifth tip, the last power move that you can learn from your vacation and take to your growth in your small business is reentry. So reentry is a really important concept. And sometimes, just like a rocket, if you think about a rocket re-entering into our atmosphere, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of heat. And one of the jokes that I always say is re-entry can burn. It doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to if we allow for the space to re-enter. So just as you've gone through a period of growth, you've put in some growth initiatives into your business, you have to allow for this period of recovery. If your primary focus is growth, remember, growth is messy, growth is inefficient, it is necessary, it's a part of the journey. Scalability is about really profitability, sustainability, efficiencies, productivity. So growth is about getting you there in the rocket, getting there fast, and scalability is about capturing the whole spectrum, if you will. But growth is highly inefficient. And so it's messy. Allow for this time to re-enter, to recover. Right? If you come back from a trip, you've got mountains of laundry to do. You've got to unpack and put away anything you packed and took with you that you don't normally need, right? You might have to replenish your refrigerator, depending on how long you've been gone. There's just reentry. So if we can look at the fact that this is just part of the process, we normalize it, we make it easy, we give space to allow ourselves the recovery, which everyone needs recovery. Even Indy Grand Prix races have pit stops. Pit stop, right? Take the pit stop. But you can use these momentums, these points of recoveries to, like we said, we're going to keep the momentum going because we're doing this, but allow yourself to clean up, to capture some of the efficiencies, the productivity, the full reward of all that growth effort. So I don't know. What did you think? I'd love to hear if you're traveling. Traveling's one of my big things. I work so I can travel. I live so I can travel. So I'm a big traveler. If you are too, let me know where you're headed. But really think about, how do you prepare, take action, and recover, and use that as your growth cycle in your business so that you can get leap years ahead of your competition. So that's it today, guys. I hope you're doing well. Remember, we do more than just grow and scale. We empower every business to prosperity. And that's what I try to do here with these videos with you. If I can help you on your journey, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to chat.